This is pretty big news here. Michael Jordan in the news because Michael Jordan is going to be on NBC. He's going to be stepping in as a special contributor to NBA coverage at that particular media outlet. I think he starts this upcoming season. So, October, we are going to be seeing and hearing from Michael Jordan as a special contributor to the coverage. They made the announcement this week. Jordan, during a video message, said, "I'm so excited to see the NBA back on NBC." He said, "The NBA and NBC was a meaningful part of my career, and I'm excited about being a special contributor to the project. I'm looking forward to seeing you all when the NBA and NBC launches this October." What he's talking about is in his career as a player, the golden era of the NBA was during that time when it became like media frenzy in terms of covering the game. The dream team, all the NBA finals runs, Michael Jordan, the biggest star in the history of the NBA to that point, right? And it was all done over NBC. They were the contract for the NBA coverage. David Stern as the commissioner and all that stuff, right? He was the cash cow of the NBA for a long time. And in some ways, like Michael Jordan is synonymous with the NBA. The thing I want to speak about here and why this is so important for NBC and why I think it doesn't really matter all that much for Jordan. Michael Jordan's mystique, Michael Jordan's career achievements, his greatness, it doesn't require conversations from Michael. Michael's never felt compelled to get in front of a microphone and just have diarrhea of the mouth. Like if you look at the NBA players today, they insert foot into mouth all the time. They say things in front of these microphones in these interviews and podcasts, and it's self-incriminating. They make themselves look stupid because oftentimes they will say things inadvertently to try to build themselves up by putting other people down and putting other eras down. What you can't do in terms of like media, and social media and all the stuff these guys do with podcasts, you can't talk shit about the guy who's perceived to be the GOAT of the NBA. Very few players have the cachet through today, right? During his playing career, even before he started playing championship level basketball and the Bulls were a championship level team, people were saying this guy was the best player in the NBA and he has the chance to be the best player of all time. They were saying that about MJ in the late 80s. They saw the potential. But in order to be the GOAT, you have to win championships. Like you need to win league MVPs. You need to be an all-time player on both sides of the ball. And you need to do all-time winning, right? Multiple championships. Michael Jordan has the credentials that supersede all things from an NBA standpoint. Like nobody's really close to what he did in such a compact time in the NBA. That's why he's so deeply regarded as the GOAT. People forget about that. When this guy entered his skilled prime and his physical prime, he just started winning and nobody else was winning. He didn't let anyone win. His legacy is part real life and part storyline because nobody had seen that level of dominance for that compacted amount of time. 6 finals appearances, 6 championships, 6 finals MVPs, right? League MVPs, dunk contests. Like he has everything checked in his career. That's why he's regarded as the GOAT by so many people. But now you're going to put him in front of microphones in probably a very structured fashion. He's not just going to be talking shit on a podcast. This isn't that mind the game bullshit we see from LeBron. He's going to be put in a position to tell stories, to explain elements of the game. But all people want is his voice. They just want to hear MJ say certain things. Michael Jordan's really smart. He's not going to fall into traps. Like he's not going to be sitting there talking about who's the GOAT. And MJ never talked about that stuff. He never used to do that when he played. I was always impressed by Kobe's laser focus and always focusing on winning and that being the most important thing. Kobe learned that from MJ. That's what MJ cared about because he knew at the end of the day, when people were going to evaluate his career, it was going to be about the wins. It was going to be about the chips, the rings. And I think that's going to continue to persevere in what he discusses when he's on this whole NBA and NBC thing.